There's a strange, confusing moment in love, a moment where a man who cares deeply for you suddenly feels far away. He's present but not fully there, close yet distant, committed yet guarded. And you start wondering, if he loves me, then why does he pull away? But the truth is far softer, far more human, and far more emotional than you think. Today, you're not here to decode a man's behavior. You're here to understand the psychology behind his silence, the distance behind his affection, and the love hidden inside the space he creates. So breathe for a moment, because this won't be a story about blame. It's a story of emotional conflict, of love, fear, vulnerability, and the quiet battles even good men don't know how to put into words. Let's begin. 1. He loves you more than he knows how to handle. When a man feels emotions that are bigger than his emotional vocabulary, he does not express more, he retreats more, not because he cares less, but because the intensity of caring overwhelms him. Men are often conditioned to handle stress by stepping away, and unfortunately they treat love the same way. So when he feels emotionally flooded, when his attachment to you becomes real, when he notices that his heart responds to your presence, he instinctively pulls back to regulate himself. It's not you. It's the size of the emotion he feels. Some men retreat to process. Some retreat to ground themselves. Some retreat to make sure what they feel is real. And some retreat because they've never been taught how to stay. Love doesn't always make him bold. Sometimes it makes him afraid of losing control. 2. He's afraid of losing his independence. Men have a deep psychological conflict. They want love, but they also want freedom. They want closeness, but they also want autonomy. And when a man falls for someone deeply, he feels a silent shift inside him. This could change my life. This could change me. This could change everything. And change, even good change, can frighten someone who's used to relying on himself. So he takes a step back, not from you, but from the fear of losing himself inside something so powerful. His distance isn't rejection. It's preservation. He's recalibrating who he is, now that you've entered his emotional world. Men pull back not because they don't want love, but because they fear being consumed by it. 3. He's testing the emotional safety of the connection. Men don't test you with games. They test you with silence. And not to trick you, but to see if the connection is emotionally safe. He wants to know, will you panic? Will you chase? Will you react with insecurity? Will you attack him? Will you assume the worst? Because a man who loves you is not testing your loyalty. He's testing your emotional stability. He's checking, can I be flawed here? Can I have moments of quiet? Can I withdraw without being punished? Can I love her without drowning in demands? A woman who stays calm when a man pulls back becomes the woman he trusts. He doesn't expect you to be perfect, but he is watching how safe it feels to open up further. And sometimes, distance is just his way of feeling out the emotional temperature of the relationship. For he has wounds you didn't cause. Love brings out unhealed wounds. It awakens old fears, old memories, old scars. And sometimes he distances himself because he's fighting something you can't see. Maybe someone he trusted once betrayed him. Maybe he loved deeply and was abandoned. Maybe he opened up before, and no one held his heart gently. And now, as he starts caring about you, the old fear wakes up. What if this ends the same way? What if she leaves? What if I'm not enough? What if I get attached and then lose everything? Men rarely say this out loud. Instead, they pull away, not because you did anything wrong, but because loving you reminds him of the pain he hasn't fully healed. You're not the problem. You're the reminder that he wants something real again. And real things scare people who have been hurt deeply. 5. He loves you, but he doesn't love his life right now. Sometimes his distance has nothing to do with you. It's about the storm inside him. A man can adore you and still feel broken, still feel lost, still feel overwhelmed, still feel like he's failing in life. Men often withdraw when life isn't going well. Money stress, work pressure, family trauma, identity struggles, self-worth issues, personal failures. He doesn't want you to see him in pieces. He distances himself to protect you from the version of him he doesn't feel proud of. He's not pushing you away. He's isolating himself from the world because he doesn't feel like he deserves love while he's struggling. When a man says, "I just need space," he often means, "I don't want you to see me this way." 6. He's afraid you'll see his vulnerability. Men fall in love differently than women. Women open as they trust. Men open once they fall, and that opening terrifies them. Vulnerability feels like exposure, like weakness, like losing control. So when he starts to care, he becomes more self-conscious. How much do I text? Do I sound too invested? Am I being too available? Does she know how much I feel? His distance isn't disinterest. It's fear of being seen too clearly. He distances himself. So he doesn't feel too vulnerable, too needy, too emotional, too obvious. But here's the truth. If he didn't care, he wouldn't hide. He hides because he feels too much, not too little. 7. He thinks you deserve better than his flaws. When a man truly loves you, he becomes painfully aware of his shortcomings. He starts thinking, "You deserve a better man. You deserve someone more stable, more emotional, more secure, more healed." And instead of telling you this, he pulls back quietly, thinking he's protecting you. He creates distance not because he plans to leave, but because he believes he's not enough. His silence is self-punishment. His distance is insecurity. His withdrawal is fear wrapped in self-doubt. A man who loves you deeply often becomes his own obstacle. 8. He doesn't want to ruin what you have. Sometimes his distance is actually respect. He wants to approach carefully. He doesn't want to rush you. He doesn't want to overwhelm you. He doesn't want to move too fast and make you uncomfortable. So he creates a little space to let the connection breathe. He's not pulling away. He's pacing himself. He's making sure he doesn't break something beautiful by moving with impulsive emotions. For some men, distance is their way of saying, "You matter too much for me to handle this recklessly." 9. He's waiting to see if you'll meet him halfway. A man in love won't always say, "I need reassurance." He won't always say, "I need you to show effort too." Instead, he'll go quiet to see if you reach out, if you initiate, if you show care, if you match his energy. He's not playing games. He's seeking balance. He wants to see if love is mutual or one-sided. Distance becomes a mirror. He steps back to see if you'll step forward, and how you respond tells him what he needs to know. 10. He's afraid of losing you, and that fear makes him act strange. Ironically, the more he loves you, the more scared he becomes of losing you. He imagines scenarios. He overthinks. He fears abandonment. He worries he's not doing enough. He fears you'll change your mind. He fears he'll mess things up. So he distances himself, because anxiety twists love into caution. His fear of loss makes him act like he's already losing you. But here's the truth. If he's distant, it's because he cares more than you realize.